Hey everybody, Rhys here with tip number 20, archetypes. So what's an archetype? And these are all these, just keep in mind, all of these Awaken tips, I am talking about the most powerful transformational spiritual concepts. Every one of these can change your life. So any one of these things that I've talked about, alchemy or intimacy or love, or awakening and enlightenment, any one of the things that we've talked about, and we're on number 20 right now. If you study just that, you could become enlightened. So what is an archetype? So an archetype is, we all know them. I'm man, right? You can look and say, well, pretty much man. Man, most of the time. Man, I'm a man. That's an archetype. So man is an archetype. Woman is another archetype. Mother is another archetype. Father is an archetype. And warrior, someone with a gun over his shoulder or with a flak, jacket on or something, you'll say, whoa, warrior. Or policeman, you can see that there are very specific archetypes or priest, and they'll be dressed as a priest, or the cardinal, they'll be wearing all red and they'll be doing, these. So we have these images in our mind, and the sixth chakra is the domain of archetypal wisdom. And so what happens is that the mind remembers things it cognizes things into images. So the images, and then the images can then be turned into words, and those images get a word associated with them. And then we have our process of being able to say, so when I say, I don't have to show you an image of a mother, I say mother, and you will have an image in your head, boom, right there. So that word triggers the image, and that image is an archetype. Well, so how are archetypes so important? So we have them all over the place. Well, each of us have, what I teach at the Rhys Institute is each of us have 12 major archetypes. Now, I use the Carolyn Myss work on archetypes, which is the primary. She's really the most brilliant person around archetypes, and she uses a astrological wheel, and she happens to use 12 as well. But we use the 12 energy centers, the seven chakras and the 5 spiritual centers, and those energy centers all have a very specific archetypal quality. And when you are able to understand that you have a certain archetype, like I have the athlete archetype in my 3rd chakra. And so from almost the day I was born, I've been running down balls and hitting and playing tennis and doing martial arts and working out and doing always playing a game, always playing, competing. And for me, it's not just an athlete, it's like an Olympian, because it's like an inner best. I want my inner best to come out. And that's what I'm always after with that archetype. I also have the evangelist archetype. And of course, when you have an archetype, there's a shadow side to it. And of course, the evangelists, they're as slimy a creature as has ever slithered along the earth. And yet they're trying to get you to buy their religion. The problem is their religion is you giving them money, not really God. God was just a vehicle to get you to give up your money to them. But on the other hand, there are evangelists that are really helping you understand, like my idea, the idea of the Rhys method, this soul quality, the life purpose profiles, the way the chakras work. This is like a religion. This is like a sense of understanding ourselves in a context that's so much bigger than we are, and which is what a religion is. It's a religion helps you understand yourself in the midst of this intense chaos. We need an idea that can make it safe to be who we are and where we are. And so this is, what an evangelist does. An evangelist sells you on their big picture on this, and so I have an evangelist in my 5th chakra, and I say, wow, and I sell you on my religion, this idea that there's more to us than the godlike quality within us is something that's unique to us. We have to find it. We have to dig in. And so one of the ways you dig in is by looking at the types of archetypes you have. Are you a networker? Are you do you have a scientific, like, are you a scientist? Are you a guide? Are you somebody that people come to all the time, and you give them sage advice, and then you say, on your way? Or are you a companion where you're always helping people out and being with people? Are you a little bit of a hermit? It's like, well, gotta have my alone time. And knowing these qualities within you, and knowing that these aren't just choices you've made. They're things that chose you. Right? And they are impersonal guides. So when somebody says, I'm talking to my guide, often you're talking to one of these dimensions of consciousness that will appear in that area of your life. And so each chakra, each part of our lives is being guided by some powerful, impersonal contract that can be seen as an archetype. So learning your archetypes, one of the most important things you can do. Once you know who you are, you need to then define this. So once you know your profile, and you know that you're either a creative person, or you're a deep feeling type of person, a lover, or you are a caretaking, hugging person that takes care of everybody and is a team player, or is somebody who's a super focused achiever who gets the job done, and enjoys their life because everything is on the clock and it works perfectly for them. They are efficient and see the big picture. Or are you a leader, which is just like you could lead in any way. You can speak, you can inspire, you can do anything. Which one of those are you? And when you find out which one you are, then you'll notice that your flavor of that is very unique to you. And there's a whole blend of archetypes that you might have. You might have a mother archetype. You might have a saboteur. How do you sabotage yourself? You might have a victim archetype, that's like, how do you feel victimized and all of that, but also how do you feel victorious? And to understand, we all have a child archetype. Well, where's all your energy? And all the energy is in the child archetype. So when you really understand the archetypes, you realize that we are given, and each of our chakras is given one of these archetypes as sort of the soldier, or it gives each of the chakras their marching orders, and reminds them, this is why you're here. This is the contract that you have. So archetypes are incredibly deep, and there's something that you really need to know about yourself. So doing any research on archetypes, or come to the Rhys Thomas Institute, and you will be an archetype master by the time you leave. Very important to know who you are. And everybody comes in and the number one question is, who am I and what am I doing here and what should I do next? Well, until you know your profile, your archetypes, how your chakras work, what you're actually here, what you actually have chakras for and what you don't have chakras for, how will you ever make those choices? So archetypes, great thing to start studying. Hey everybody. I hope you enjoyed that tip as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. And I just wanted to let you know that these awakening tips, I'm going to continue to do them over the next 2 months, right up to our event, our big flagship event each year, which is called Awaken. And these awakening tips are just the tip of the iceberg as to what you're going to get in a 2-day event, May 20th and 21st, at the Holiday Inn in Dedham, Massachusetts. It's going to be awesome, and we've used that hotel before. They're fantastic. It's a great place to have it, and we are going to share with you as much as we can the experience of really being in the Rhys Thomas Institute of Energy Medicine, and these tips are just like I said, sort of like the primer for what we're doing there to sort of get you going. So if you're interested in finding out more about the live event and getting the $50 ticket. Which actually is a $50 ticket for the whole 2 days, and you can bring a friend. Click on this video, and I'd love to see you there. And you can always email support@rhysthomasinstitute.com if you have any questions or want to bring a big group. We'd love to see you there. So enjoy, and I will see you on the next tip.